Right, hello everyone. Day 3 of Advertising Week Europe. I'm Jack Hirschman, and it's a pleasure to be here with Joel.
How you doing, Jack? You
Yeah,
okay?
good. Yeah, very good, thank you. So, what is it that you do?
I own a company called Kids Know Best, and we're all about giving kids a voice. So ultimately, we're a kids ecosystem that helps brands understand exactly what children want.
Great. And you were on pitch at the Palace.
I was at Pitch at Palace, yeah. It was an amazing experience. I had no idea about kind of what it is or what you achieve from it. I first learnt about it around 18 months ago. I was on an incubator program for our business called Alia, and the guys there are amazing, and they recommended this thing, saying, "Oh, you have to go, you get to go to Buckingham Palace." So I was like, I don't care what it is. Yeah. It didn't really matter where it was, and everyone said to me, "Oh, it's not about winning, it's all about kind of the networking," and that's something that I love. So you meet some amazing people, and it's the first time I've done anything like that, and standing up on stage, kind of talking about my idea and my passion in front of kind of about 500 people at Buckingham Palace was just an incredible experience.
How was that? What was that sort of journey like from like first hearing about it? Because we had a couple of pitch at the Palace Alumni down here this week, and they were saying that there are so many different stages until you actually get to the Palace, that pitching process.
I think we were quite lucky in the fact of what we're doing is very unique, and it's all about giving kids a voice. And most companies that pitch at Palace, for us, we felt slightly out of place because people were trying to save the world and cure AIDS and everything like that. And there's some amazing businesses that have to go through stages because there's so many MPOs that want to get their voice heard. Whereas for us, giving kids a voice is something unique, and I think Pitch at Palace were excited for us to come down. So we done like one stage of boot camp, which was we had to go down to Cambridge for the day, and I had to prepare a 3-minute kind of pitch to probably the smartest people I've ever met. And with my background, it's kind of overwhelming to meet all these people, and learning the pitch for 3 minutes is pretty tough. Like standing in a university, just talking to the Duke of York about who we are was a bit strange.
Yeah, and you were telling me just before we came on about your background, right? And
Yeah, so my background is something I'd imagine most startups and founders won't have. Obviously, being in the tech space now, most people normally have a very good career, make a lot of money, will invest their own money into something, or they will be bored of their job and they'll see an opportunity within their industry and go, "Oh, I've got a great idea, let's make it grow." I was actually a hairdresser. So I'd been hairdressing for 15 years, worked in Mayfair my whole life, and my business partner had an amazing idea. And the only reason I got involved was because I've got an amazing network of people. Hairdressing's one of the best jobs to open doors and to kind of meet people from various industries. Mm-hmm. So my business partner was one of my best friends. We've been mates since we left school, and he rang me up one day. I was actually drunk at the time, and I thought the idea was ridiculous. And after sleeping on it, I was like, "This is a great idea." And he was like, "Can you help me? Can you help anyone develop the idea? Do you want to get involved? And can we go from there?" And that's kind of where it started from. But yeah, hairdressing's a massive part of my life.
Yeah, I mean it's an amazing story, right? And it's kind of rare that you find someone to have gone from hairdressing into tech. It's not like it's not an everyday thing, right? Like when you were making that decision to leave hairdressing and start setting up, like what were you thinking?
I mean, again, that was a horrible situation for me because without kind of blowing my own trumpet, I was quite successful in hairdressing. I'd built up an amazing clientele. I'd, done TV shows. I'd done fashion shows. I'd worked on magazines. And it was kind of like, do I want to leave a career that I've kind of done so well at? And I was teaching the next generation of hairdressers to pursue something that I really believed in. And it took me kind of 18 months to go down to part-time in hairdressing. I was, like any founder will tell you, they work 8 days a week, 25 hours a day, and they, for me, it was juggling 2 jobs. I took nothing out of the business. I was using hairdressing to make money and to open more doors. And then finally last November, the business started soaring, and it was just like, do you know what? I need to make this decision, because sometimes you've got to have that fear and you just got to go for it. And it was just like, the growth that we've achieved so far, especially within the last 6 months, has been amazing. So I think the decision's right. Funnily enough, yesterday I was out with my ex-boss, just having a coffee and a catch up, and you know, it's nice when you step away from one industry, looking in from another, and what you can learn, and what, especially, you know, what the tech world has done, and the things that you learn along the way. I think that could be put into all types of business.
And I'm sure we were also talking before, and you said how that, you know, the networking and like the amount that you sort of just talk to people when you're you know, cutting people's hair or styling them or whatever, like that must have set you up so well, and is like an attribute that probably a lot of tech founders don't have necessarily.
Well, yeah, I mean, I completely agree. Most tech founders that I've met are so much smarter than me. You know, I'm not one person to sit here and say that I'm great at everything, and I don't understand tech. Like, I don't understand media, and which is strange considering I now own a kids tech media company. But what I do understand is people, and the network is something that most amazingly smart people, especially in our accelerator, don't have. And when I worked in Mayfair, it opened up doors to people with vast amount of wealth that want to diversify their wealth, and when they've got a relationship with you, and they believe in your idea and they believe in you, suddenly those kind of fundraising rounds that people struggle with and people find, you know, they have to go to kind of VC level and things like that. I'm in a very, very lucky position that I've built up relationships with people that have that capital that can support us.
So are you learning the entire time? I'm
constantly learning, and I love it. Like, we are just about to make a key hire in our business, a new COO. So previously, with me and my business partner, I'm CEO. My business partner Rob was COO. We're learning off people that we meet, and I think that's the only way to do it. And you should never be arrogant about it and never think that you know everything, because everyone has their skills and everyone has a story to tell you, and you should just listen. And you know, this COO that's coming in, and Rob's, you know, moving aside, and Rob's great at creative and great at branding, so he's taken on that role. And our COO has come from within the industry. He's so well thought of worldwide, and for us, it's a major hire. And I just want to learn from him, because I know that he's going to take our business to new heights.
Fantastic. And I mean, you said that the last 18 months you've just seen incredible growth.
Yeah.
Like, what have you gone from to?
So, when we started Kids Know Best, we were actually wanted to be a TripAdvisor for kids. So the initial idea, again, was all about giving kids a voice and understanding what children want. I mean, you know, you and I can go and watch, you know, the new Toy Story film, and why does it matter what we really think? Because what matters is it's targeting children. Let's understand what kids think. So when Rob came up with the idea, he's got twin girls. He took them to the cinema to see an animation film that got horrendous reviews. The cinema was completely dead. Rob thought the film was terrible, but his kids loved it. And he's like, you know, why are we not reading reviews from kids? So we started off and we wanted to build a publishing model where kids can come and upload their own content, and they can say, like, you know, I love this film and I love this toy, and you know, this app's my favourite app on the App Store and things like this. And we thought, you know, again, the arrogance of not understanding tech and not understanding media, we were like, oh, we could build a publishing model and we can conquer the world. Everyone's going to love it. You know, I had no idea what SEO was, so how the hell is anyone going to find me? But the idea we still loved, and you know, as I said, we've constantly learned. So from understanding that a publishing model is a very, very tough thing to build, we started creating content. And the content that we created was from kids, and the brands ended up reaching out to us, and they were like, I love the content, you know, kids playing with toys, kids going to, you know, we go to red carpets and get kids to interview celebrities. We get the latest toy releases in kids' hands before they come out and find out what they think. So all this content becomes marketing assets for brands. So they were like, can you make us videos? We were like, great, we could be a startup that's 6 months old bringing in revenue.
Wow.
So we're working with Universal, we're working with Hasbro, we're working with Studio Canal and BBC, and everyone wants to understand what a child wants. So the video content was key to us, and it kept our business afloat. And we were like, well, how can we scale up a business that's just purely video content? And again, you'd end up being a video production company. And we were like, we don't want to do that. We want to be a hell of a lot bigger. So the tech thing was always important to us. And on our website, you know, we noticed one thing that was amazing, and that was highly engaged quizzes. So we've ended up again knowing that people that go on the quizzes were kids. And for us, we didn't do our research into websites, and we knew that if we researched things, we would have been here a lot quicker. So that enabled us to think, well, hold on, we can do market research. So we now, you know, speak to kids about market research. So it's now marketing for brands and market research for brands. And then from that, with the tech side of things, to scale it, we've got an app coming out, which is called Luti. And what that will be is kids can come on, do quizzes, give their opinions, and win prizes. And with that, you know, we understand exactly what children want. We can create branded quizzes, and then, you know, for instance, we'll find out, you know, who your favourite character is for Disney. We can go back to Disney and say, look, we've spoken to 10,000 kids around the UK. We all know that everyone loves Woody.
Amazing. That's cool. And it's such an interesting model, because like the whole publishing industry is in disarray a little bit, right? Like you look at Vice, you look at BuzzFeed, Mike, like all of these businesses have enormous newsrooms with tons of writers, enormous overheads, and they're having to lay people off left, right, and centre because their revenue models weren't diversified enough. They were just relying on advertising.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so to listen to you like with like a really innovative way of thinking is like
so we obviously looked at it and were like, what are the solutions we're going to help with brands? You know, we looked at our own problems, and it was we didn't research things. You know, we couldn't build a publishing model, and we need to build a tech model. So we looked at that and we're like, all right, we can have multiple ways of bringing in revenue. And, you know, we've also, from that, made a content creator community. So we help kids. We know kids are on YouTube. We know kids are on TikTok. So we advise children on what the right content is to produce, and make sure that when kids are on there, that all their channels are family friendly, and, you know, we give them use of our studio one day a month. So all the kids that we've got that we speak to can create their own channels and get to have a good voice.
So last question, because I'm conscious we're running over a touch, but how do you how do you control the quality of stuff? Like you mentioned that kids are writing stuff? Or?
It's all video content.
All video
so
content.
Again, you know, everyone knows that video is the future.
Right.
You know, you can look on an Instagram feed and you skip. You need to make sure that what we create is highly engaging content, and we make sure that anything a child sends to us and we produce is family friendly. We have moderators there.
Yeah, of course. Great. Well, pleasure talking to you, and thanks very much.
Pleasure. Thank you. Yes.